What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. Old Rabbit's in work mode right now. They're over there working on the warehouse, and we thought we'd shoot over here in my other shop. And this is kind of like the land of misfit toys. This is where everything goes before it goes to the warehouse. You know, just make sure everything's done. This is my little 57 150 that's only been sitting for about 6 months. I've owned this car for a year and I've drove it 6 miles, but we're going to definitely blow the dust off this bad boy. We'll be shooting with it soon. I was walking around and I've been watching the news lately, you know, and they're talking about coronavirus and panic in the streets and bars and restaurants shutting down and stores, you know, reducing their hours. And there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of worry going on right now, you know, and I don't want to harp on it because it's something serious. I do think people are going a little overboard with some of it, but, you know, that's my opinion. But anyway, so back to the cool stuff. I've got this little 64 Vet, little coupe Vet coming in. You'll definitely be seeing that one soon too. Speaking on the coronavirus, it's like everyone's buying up like toilet paper and hand sanitizer and milk and bread and all this stuff in a panic, you know, like we're going to run out. And, you know, hell, I've been buying cars. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. You know, obviously you got to have food to eat. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be able to take a situation like this and make it work for you. I've been down this road a long time. Convenient. You got to understand, like when I started my eBay business, hell, 9/11 just happened. And I was selling cars, you know, when interest rates were crazy and, you know, all the economic turmoil and all that came from that. And then fast forward on, even a few years into it, you know, I was working with car lots that the only cars they were selling was the ones that I was selling for them. And hell, what did I do? You know, you got a car lot that insurance and payments and all this stuff were eating up all their budget. What did they do? They called Old Rabbit and I came in and bought their stock. Being able to save your money, you can come in at times like this and pick up cars. I'm not saying necessarily you're taking advantage of them, you're taking advantage of the situation. That's something that I've always tried to been able to do, not always, but always try to able to have a little bit put back so you can do things like that. And I stress that I have a lot of entrepreneurs and I have a lot of hustlers that watch this channel. I get messages from you guys all the time and, you know, want to learn about getting into flips. And this is a good opportunity to turn panic into a payday. Just a couple quick examples. Like I said, I've been buying cars like crazy. That's the reason Old Rabbit ain't rocking the seamless shirt and got the hair all spiked up. Old Daddy's working right now. I've been out hitting the streets, buying cars, talking to people. It's a little hard to negotiate on somebody on a $6,000 car when you're wearing a $10,000 watch. So you kind of gotta calm it down just a little bit. And also, I've got where I get recognized a lot when I go out and buy cars, so I kind of have to go a little incognito sometimes. But anyway, that being said, same old shaggy wagon behind me right here. Do you realize this thing popped up for sale on Marketplace and like I had to have it? And you gotta understand, it's a 75 Chevrolet van in great shape, runs and drives 90,000 actual miles, one owner. Cold air, just a great running, driving, mechanically sound van, solid as a rock. And just got that cool look to it, just a neat old school van. And I'll be honest with you, I spend more in coffee every month than I paid for this van. Deals are out there. I mean, I paid asking price. That wasn't you negotiating or taking advantage of anyone. I paid what they were asking for it. I said, I'll take it. Yeah, take this little Corvette. I rode down to Charleston and picked this car up. That's a GM exec, one owner car. That's a one of 50 Indy Parade cars. It was just a great deal. So I had to have it. You know, you couldn't turn it down. This is the time to buy. You know, people get in their head, you know, when things happen like this. You know, like I was talking about like later on in my eBay days, buying the car lots out. Well, how about 2008 when the market crashed? You know, what did I do? I went in, I was buying collector cars up. You're storing up your stock. And, you know, you're always buying good stock, but now is really a buyer's market to buy because people are worried to death about something that more than likely isn't going to happen. And I'm not saying take advantage of people. And I want to stress that point. You're taking advantage of the situation. You know, you're not like these bottom feeders that are selling hand sanitizer and toilet paper for jacked up prices. No, these people are selling their cars at reduced prices. So why not take advantage of the situation? If you don't buy them, hell, I probably will. So, giving you some free advice. You know, it's like a little Corvette right here. The guy was selling it, you know. He said, yeah, the troubled times we're in right now, and the car just sits all the time. And I picked up a low mileage, one owner, GM exec owned Vet for really quarters on the dollar what it was worth retail. Now, granted, it was a quick sale. I paid in cash. I paid him what he was asking for it. I mean, there was no negotiations at all. It was a great deal. I couldn't run down fast enough to pick it up. I've got more cars coming in. I'm keeping the transporters hot right now because this is the time you buy. You got to understand, the market changes. Sometimes it's a seller's market, sometimes it's a buyer's market. And right now, this time of year, usually in the collector car biz, this is a seller's market because everyone's getting ready for car show season. Well, guess what? Thanks a lot, Corona. We don't have a car show season anymore because everything's been canceled and all that stuff. But now you got a lot of people that are sitting on these cars that want to move them. You can get some really good deals out there, and they're floating around everywhere. Every time I pick up Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever, I'm always seeing good deals, and I have a lot of you guys send them to me too. So they're out there, and you're taking advantage of this crazy market right now. And the thing is, whether it blows over in 2 months, 2 weeks, or 2 years, whatever, you still have this great stock. And I'll be honest with you, at the end of the day, I mean, hell, I'm keeping the transporters hot right now. I've got 2001 Bullet Mustangs coming in, green and blue, low mile from Texas that I picked up. This is the time to buy. 90s cars are hot. That's the reason I picked up the Parade Corvette. 90s stuff's going crazy, and I know everybody rolls their eyes when they see me with a C4 Corvette. You know what? I'm a little biased. I like them a little more than most, but I will tell you this. You saw what the OBS trucks did, and you saw what the Fox Body Mustangs are doing. And you've seen this. It's the time to buy these cars. These cars, I've been slowly watching the values go up on these cars over the years. I had the LT4 car that I sold, and those cars always held their value pretty good, the LT4 96 cars. And the Grand Sports and the ZR1s have always been up there. But now, your anniversary vets, these IndyCar vets, and the 86 IndyCar vets, even if you can find a nice one, which is highly unlikely. But these cars are so hard to find that you need to statch them up because these are going to be the first ones that people want. You got all your big Radwood shows and things like that focus on 80s and 90s culture. And that stuff is so hot right now. It's the new classic, which makes me feel old as shit because I graduated in 98. But still, beside the point, this is what the new guys want, the new collectors, the new guys coming into the market. They're not so interested in a 64 Corvette, but that right there, that's the car they wanted in high school, or that's the car they wanted when they were in college, and they could never get it. Well, now they can, and you have them, and Clean Examples obviously sell first and for the most. And like I said, this is the time to buy those cars. People realize you can't eat a car. They want to get paid for it, and you can take advantage and get some really good deals. And that's a big thing. I love seeing you guys do well, and I love throwing you guys a bone every once in a while and tell you, keep your eyes open. Hey, this is the time to buy, because it definitely is a buyer's market, which is crazy. Like I said earlier, normally this time of year, I'm selling everything I own, because cars are going nuts right now. You just can't keep them. It's slowed down a little bit with all this going on. Like I said, car shows everywhere are being canceled in the U.S. And it's part of it, so you kind of got to play the hand you were dealt. And that's something that I've always said life is like a game of cards. Because, there's a lot of luck involved, but there's also strategy to it when you're playing that hand. And when you're getting crap hands, you just got to play through. But when you get the opportunity to get that ace, to get that king, pick up that jack, you see where I'm getting at. That's where you build your hand with it. And this is the time to build your hand, to buy your cars, stock them up. Because I'm telling you, when this stuff blows over, all this is money in the bank. I'm a big believer in that. A lot of people, they panic so hard right now this time of year. And, we don't want to get rid of it. We don't want to get rid of our money. We need to have money put up. You do. You need to make sure your needs are covered. But on the other hand, it's also a great opportunity to, instead of surviving, to actually do a little better. That's kind of my philosophy with it anyway. Turning panic into payoff. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. I'll hold my coffee cup. Gives me something to do with my hands. A little bit of babbling there you might need to cut out, but the majority of it I think is good. Can you hear me?